Welcome to TSO Daily. I am your host, Mystic Raven, as usual. So today I'm going to be putting out the Magicka Dragonknight second build. Okay, this build is pretty common, so it's not really going to surprise anybody with this build. So I told you I do have 3 builds I'm going to be coming out with this week, but this is the second one. This is the most common one. This is pretty cookie, to be honest with you guys. But, you know, I'm going to go ahead and deliver it anyways and kind of give you what I do with my rotation and some of the minor things that, you know, I choose or am wanting to do with this specific build, unlike some of the other people. But we'll go ahead and get into it. I'm just going to go ahead and apply my food buff, make sure that's up, and we'll get into the character sheet here. All right, so on the dual side, we're looking at max Magicka at 40,810. Max health is over the 20k mark, which is 20,285. If you look to the right, this is what's concerning about this specific build is the Magicka recovery is only at 806. There are pros and cons to this, and I'll get into it. If you look below, you're going to see the spell crit at 59.5, and if you look to the left, we have everything allocated into Magicka. Now, here's the deal. I'm going to be running the Thief Mundus on this build. Excuse me. And I'll explain why that is. Okay, and of course, I am a vampire. This will help your recovery, especially if you're a Dunmer. Now, the Dunmer is a great race for the Dragonknight, and, you know, I'm going to go ahead and get into this, because if you're going to be a Magicka Dragonknight, Dunmer is pretty much a very solid way to go. The reason being, you're going to go ahead and get destructive ancestry. This increases your flame damage by 7%. Is it the only option for the Dragonknight? Well, no, because depending on your build, you could also go high elf, but you would lose the 7%. So you'd be, you know, taking that into consideration, that you get a little bit more Magicka, but you'd be losing on the flame damage. So Dunmer is a very solid choice for Magicka Dragonknights. Okay? Now, also, and Breton's a good option too, so I'm not going to say you can't roll with Breton. Breton's a good, solid choice as well. Now, going to the staff side, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the attributes. You're going to see the increase to max Magicka. It's up to 42,307. You're going to be like, why in the hell did it rise? I will explain. Max health is 20,285, and of course, our crit went down, but we're still over the 55.5. I don't usually like to go over, but with this build, you really can't help but to go over, because we are running the Thief. Because when we take a look at the gear, and we'll get into that next, we're going to be running a double stack of the Sunset and, of course, the Burning Spellweave. Like I said, this is pretty cookie. This is a pretty solid build overall, because these two complement each other very well. Now, here's the deal. I'm going to have to charge this again. Okay, so we're going to be running the Master Inferno staff, right, guys? Unfortunately, I have it in defending at the moment, but ideally, you're going to want the Nirnholm. Please do not grab the Sharpen. That would be the worst mistake you would make. You want to try with the Nirnholm. You want to try to get that Nirnholm drop. The Master Inferno staff is great, because what it does, it has the enchantment to increases the damage of the destruction touch ability by 498 and reduces the cost by 12%. This is the why you really want the Master staff on this, because it's going to add the 996. Now keep in mind, if you want the Maelstrom staff, it would actually give you more, because it's going to give you spell damage. So you're going to get a little bit more DPS off that, but for this build, I really like the Master Inferno staff better, because I'm going to be using Destructive Touch in its morph. This is why I prefer the Master Inferno staff over the VMA weapon. But once again, I'm going to stress, you really want to get that in Nirnholm as much as possible if you're going to farm either weapon. Okay? Okay, so we're going to be using Burning Spellweave swords, ideally. Unfortunately, once again, ESO hates me on drops, because I have a defending Inferno staff, and I have a training sword and a Burning Spellweave dagger. I'm not going to upgrade it. Now, on the enchants, you're actually going to want to put Crushers on this and an increase, right? We're not going to be able to actually enchant the Master Inferno staff, because we don't want to lose that bonus to the Destructive Touch ability. So you're never going to enchant it, all right? Okay. Also, we have the Valkynscorian helmet, medium, divine. At the moment, do I have my infused becomes my question. Oh, wait a minute. There's my infused. And there's my, do I have my medium? Yeah, we're good. Okay, let me switch that out. I want to keep it heavy and medium. So I wanted to use the infused Valkynscorian helmet. All right, why? Because it's going to go ahead and give us max Magicka. Also, we're going to be taking a look at Jerkin of the Sun. It's infused. It's not divine because it's, once again, it's going to give us another max Magicka of 1,041 max Magicka. This helps towards sustain. You know, I always tell people your 3 biggest pieces helps give you more max than the divine would. So, you know, you take that into consideration. Of course, we have the divine shoulders in medium because the medium and the heavy is going to maintain the undaunted passive in the giving us the 6%. So Undaunted Metal is giving us 6% towards all of our stats. That's the max health, the stamina, and the Magicka. We don't want that to drop. And since we're using 2 drop sets, they don't come in medium or heavy. So once again, we want to go ahead and use our monster set in medium and heavy since we're using light armor. Okay, also, we have the Waste of the Burning Spell Weave in Divine. Once again, I'm in the process of upgrading. This set, you know, this build, it's good, but it's questionable for me whether or not I'll continue to upgrade it. But this is in Divine, obviously. The hands are in Divine Burning Spell Weave. The legs are infused Breaches of the Sun, right? And the feet is the Burning Spell Weave in Divine. This is all max Magicka except even my shoulder is. So we're good here. So this will adjust our sheet a little bit, but not too much. The jewelry set, Necklace of the Sun. This one's gold. I got this in a trial run when I did vet, but I have not been able to procure the gold rings as of yet. So we have the Necklace of the Sun, Ring of the Sun, and another Ring of the Sun, all max spell damage. Okay, guys? So that's how we want to go with this. If you can get the gold, you really want to, but it's no longer available in Hellraw, which originally is where I got this. You would have to go through the golden to now get the gold rings and jewelry, and it's hard to say when that'll be out. Okay, so there you go. That's how you get the gold. Excuse me, jewelry. All right, and so that's pretty much the gear. Now let's go ahead and we'll go get into the skills. With this, it's going to be a different setup. So usually I keep single target to my dual wield bar because I'm going to get that 5% towards the twin blade and blunt on the swords, right? On this build, I'm not going to do that because I'm going to go ahead and make my staff my single target. Okay, the reason being I'm going to use Degeneration as my builder. This is going to give me a dot effect to help proc Valkynscorian, because when you take a look at Valkynscorian, what it does is when you deal damage with the damage over time effect, you have an 8% chance to summon a meteor that deals 12,733 flame damage to the target and 5,560 flame damage to all other surrounding enemies. This can occur every 5 seconds. This is a very heavy end dot build. So what this gives us for this builder is it gives us the dot. So Degeneration works out great. It's going to go ahead and deal damage. It's going to give us a small self-heal, and it's going to give us major sorcery as well. And on top of that, when I activate it, I'm also going to get the passive buff of Might of the Mage. Now, casting a mage ability is going to grant me in power, increasing the damage of my next ability by 20% within 5 seconds. So this is great because I can toggle back and forth between the two, increasing the damage of Flame Clinch even further. And this is why I do, when I put down my rotation, my dots, I'll toggle between the two, so I'm increasing the damage of the clinch. All right, so that's how that works out. Now, obviously, we do have the flame clinch, and keep that in mind that it's dealing 6,223 flame damage, and it's also going to apply another dot, which is giving us 8,795. So that is also going to increase our proc effect for Valkynscorian. Unstable Wall of Fire. Now, a lot of people are going to say, you know, why are you going to use Unstable Wall of Fire? Once again, this is what's going to be a really must-have. When you take a look at Destruction Staff, right, and we go down to the passives, we're going to get where is it? Let me see right here, Destructive Expert. You restore 3,600 Magicka 3600 Magicka when you kill an enemy with a Destruction Staff ability. So what I'm trying to do is lay down this dot effect. So if the clinch doesn't kill it, and an unstable wall hits a mob and kills it on the explosion, which is a secondary effect because it's going to deal 2,313 flame damage to surrounding enemies every second. When the effect ends, it's going to explode for 3,700 extra flame damage. If this explodes and it kills any of the surrounding mob, I'm going to get more Magicka back. So that's a pro, because remember, I have low-end regen. So I want to take advantage of that passive in the Destruction Staff to see if I can maintain extra Magicka during my rotation. All right, we're going to put Burning Embers here as well. The reason we're going to use Burning Embers is because it applies another dot effect. Remember, this isn't our spammable. What we're going to actually try to do is apply this throughout our rotation so it can deal 17,766 flame damage over 10.5 seconds. Also, it's going to give me another self-healing ability for 75%. So between the degeneration and this ability, I got 2 self-heals applied. Now, as far as the ultimate goes, we're going to go with the Fiery Rage. The reason I like this in dungeons is this isn't going to be for PvP. If you were going to use PvP on this, you were going to go for Eye of the Storm more than likely. But for PvE, this works out a lot better because it's going to deal a lot more damage. And some people do like to go with the Dragonknight standard, and I like the Dragonknight standard. I'm not going to say I don't. But here's the deal, guys. For the cost, it's the same cost, right? 250 ultimate. It still applies a dot, which is great. And you get the synergy. But I'm going to get more damage from the Destruction Staff ultimate, you know. So I'd rather go ahead and maintain that. And I don't have to be within the vicinity when I lay it down. So that's another perk of the Destruction Staff ultimate. So, but if you want to use the Dragonknight standard, you can. Those are options. On the back bar, this is a dual wheel bar. This is going to be a dot laid rotation. Now, this is where we get the best of both worlds, because when we're on this side, we're going to get the 5-piece burning spell weave. Now, when we're on staff side, we only got 3, right? We're going to lose that critical. So this is the difference of the crit damage and the max Magicka. But what we want to do is lay down our dot effect so we can proc this. Once we proc it and we switch over, we have the sunset consistently, because that sunset's extra 391 spell damage is consistent. This is another reason I don't want that to drop off. I want to keep the sunset flame damage up at all times and use the dual side to proc the burning spell weave. Now, this is going to be a little controversial, and we're going to talk about this. I would never put burning spell weave on any other class but the DK. You can use it on any other class, but it's not a best in slot. Why isn't it a best in slot for any other class? Well, the reason being, guys, is when you deal damage with a flame damage ability, you have a 20% chance to apply the burning status effect to the enemies, increasing your damage by 572 for 8 seconds. This occurs every 12 seconds. That's a 4-second lapse. And I get more out of my Scathing Mage on my Sorcerer than the Burning Spell Weave. Plus, I only have a 20% chance to proc. Now, it's true. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get down into this and explain this. Destruction Staff with Elemental Force increases the chance of applying the burning status effect and also dealing that damage, but I only still have a 20% chance depending on which abilities I do per tick. And no other class except the Templar has flame damage abilities. Now, the Templar has 1 or 2, and they can use that and get a little bit more out of it. This is true. I'm not saying it isn't. But the reason it benefits the DK a lot better versus any other class is when we go down here and we go into combustion, anytime a burning status effect is applied, we're getting a boost to our damage by 66%. No other class receives this more than the Magicka Dragonknight. So this set is made, it's tailored for the Magicka DK. Now, am I saying it's only for Magicka DK? Of course not. This is Elder Scrolls. I'm not that dumb. So I'm going to tell you, though, the combustion in the Burning Spell Weave works great for the Magicka Dragonknight. Okay? Because we're going to get the burning status effect, increasing the DPS by 66% on top of the extra spell damage from the set bonus. Okay, so that's how that works, and this is why I only keep this set to the Magicka DK. All right, plain and simple. So, so on this opener, we're going to be using Draw Essence. This is a self-heal. I always proc this first because it has a delayed effect. It has, 2.5 seconds. Then it's going to deal the 7,124 flame damage. But it also has a self-healing depending on how many mobs is around. So I can go ahead, get a self-heal, let it blow up, and, I can go out throughout my rotation. So set and forget. I'm going to go with the Draw Essence, then I'm going to lay down Eruption. The reason I want to go ahead and lay down Eruption, once again, it has a dot effect. So it's going to deal an instant effect of 4,940 flame damage to nearby enemies and 1,245 flame damage every second. Once again, this helps proc Valkynscorian. That's why I keep only Valkynscorian on the DK as well, because I have a lot more dot effects and a more more profound application to apply, Valkynscorian's tick. So that's why. Burning Talons. A lot of tanks run Burning Talons, no doubt about it. That's why it's not first. I'm going to go ahead and let the tank lay down his Burning Talons, right? He's going to do it. Somebody's going ahead and synergize with it. It's going to blow. By the time I set these two, Burning Talons is going to be up again, and somebody else can go ahead and hit the synergy. Because what it deals 5,756 flame damage, immobilizes the enemy for 4 seconds, and then it's dealing 6,903 flame damage over 4 seconds. Once again, that's another dot towards Valkynscorian. While enemies are held, allies can activate Impale to deal 7,995 magic damage. All right, and that's prior without any effects of increase to the spell damage from Burning Spellweave. Engulfing Flame. Engulfing Flame is going to be my last. I'm going to go ahead and blow this when I get up to the close. So I'm going to do all my range, and I'm going to throw the Engulfing Flame. Once again, it's a dot effect. So we're looking at 2,460 flame damage to enemies in front of me, and an additional 11,890 flame damage over 10 seconds. Okay, now once again, I have Inner Light on both bars. The reason being, this is going to give me Major Prophecy, increasing your spell crit by 2191. And even though you say, well, Mystic, you said your crit's a little high, couldn't you take it off? I could, but the thing about it is it's giving me max Magicka of 5%. So I don't want to go ahead and do that. I want to go ahead and try to maintain as much DPS. And even though I don't need any, that much crit potentially, that 5% is relative. Also, we're going to use Shooting Star. This deals flame damage, and it has a dot effect. Now, it's not going to deal initially as much damage as my Nightblade does, but the secondary effect takes a hold a lot better on the DK because it has the damage over time of 5,517 flame damage every second for 11.8 seconds. So it's a best of both worlds for the DK. You have the direct, and then you have the dot. So it works out really well. So this is pretty much about it for the build. Now I'm going to go ahead and get into the champion points and explain what we're doing here. Now keep in mind, guys, this is not any different than what my last video was as far as point allocation. So if you've seen that video, don't anticipate any changes. So Elfborn is at 12%. Why? Because dots can crit. So we want to take advantage of that. Elemental Experts at 23. I never go 100. Why? Because of diminishing return. Spell Erosion's at 1,654. Now keep in mind, in the light armor, we're getting 4,884. This is why we want the Nirnhold Staff, because we're getting an extra 10% into the Destruction Staff towards penetration. When we take a look at the Astronaut, we have no points allocated because we want to go ahead and put Thaumaturge up to about 15%. When we look over here, Ironclad's at 6.5 and Resistance is at 493. That's PvP. Don't worry about it. Hardy's at 16%. Elemental Defender is at 22.5. Thick Skin's only at 3%. And of course, Quick Recovery, because I am a vampire, I want to maintain my self heals and heals from a healer, so I got that at 6.8. When we take a look at the Magician, we're going to reduce the cost as much as we can without affecting regen, so this is at 13.5. Arcanus is at 23. Tenacity, we will be weaving in and out if we have to maintain Magicka, but it's at 6.6. You can actually drop this down if you want and put it back into the Magician to reduce the cost further. That's an option. Health is at 6%. Once again, I am a vampire, so I want to go ahead and try to negate some of that negative effect. And nothing is in the shadow. So that's pretty much how we've got the champion points allocated. I have picked up the dailies today. I will try to queue it, and we'll see what we got here. So it's Cradle of Shadows. I will not do that bet. Elden Hollow 2 and Vollenfell. Alright. Okay. Okay, so what was that one? Vollenfell and Eden Hollow 2, right? Yep. Oh. Vollenfell. And I'll just queue up the normal 2 just in case, but I would like the vet, to be honest with you. Alright, so while we are waiting, let me go ahead, we'll go to Craglorn and just mess around for a few minutes. Now I have named this Backdraft, the only reason being because we have a lot of, you know, with Draw Essence and the Engulfing Flame, it kind of has a Backdraft feel to it for me, so it's pretty generic in my opinion, but at least it separates, you know, the build name. So once again, this is pretty cookie, dude, guys. This is pretty cookie build. It's good. It's good. I actually have one more build I'm going to be posting this week for the Magicka DK. That one is my favorite by far. So it's probably my favorite. Normally I'd be picking up all this stuff, but today I don't care. Okay, guys, so a lot of things when I do and I see single targets, now when you see those arms orange, that is the burning spell weaves effect. And I'm sure most of you are familiar with it. So a lot of times I'll come in straight in here and I'll draw, drop, blow. Okay, that's pretty much my rotation in dungeons when I'm on the dual side. Draw, drop, blow. Alright, that simple. I just follow it right in order for the rotation. And then once everything's laid down, if I have anything to clean up on a mobs, I'll go to the single target and I'll lay it down. Now some people like to configure their rotation a little different, but this rotation works out perfect for me. It is what it is. So draw, drop, blow. Now when I'm spamming, I'll go ahead and hit that spam. All right. Oh, there we are. Okay, I'll be muting this for a second, guys. Oh my god, I didn't actually get automatically thrown in? That's first. Oh shit! How is this possible? Well, I'm taking it. Make sure you get those luminous shards, because if they're luminous, that's going towards your Magicka, dude, guys. Okay, this has got to be a vet, so I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, I'm gonna throughout my rotation make sure I try to get that wall down. Oh, wrong button. I don't know what we're rolling with or anything, you know, but it is what it is. Looks pretty high. Let the tank go in first. Lay down. See if okay, now once that war horn is, I'm gonna drop it. Keep the dot applied. Now we're gonna run our spam. Want to keep reapplying my dots. Now, keep in mind, guys, ideally, if I had everything the way I wanted it, I'm going to push out a lot more damage because I'm going to get that Nirnholm staff. And I want at least one sharpen in my swords, because I don't have that 10% from the dual wield. Oh, is that? No, it's not. I was about to say, if it's a heavy sack, we're good. I don't know what these guys are debating about. This is where self-healing comes in handy. Damn it. No, there's a chest. Forget, I don't need shit in here. No, get it. I wonder if they fixed this. Had an aggro problem. Well, at least it's not skipping aggro today. Wait for a war horn to drop the ultimate. That dot in there. friggin'.
Awaken, my darling. I need you to wake and smash this battle to pieces.
Let's see if I can move up a little bit. All right.
In his research, in murdering people,
Come on.
in relationships.
Don't look in the bag. Oh, that's right. I gotta talk to her. Oh, I hate this.
Come now.
All right. Whatever. All right. Excuse me. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Now, a lot of people are going to ask me, why not Molokina? The Dragonknight has the lowest amount of Magicka and spell damage, so Molokina would increase your spell damage. Problem of it is, you don't have a lot of Magicka. So when you put on Molokina and you proc it, well, you start running out of resources pretty damn quick. So for your DPS on meter, because you're a DK, you get a lot more proc effects without worrying about resources with Valkynscorian. Blow the horn. Blow it. Somebody please blow that horn. Frigate, it's procced my... Yeah, that's pretty good. That's actually good for a Sork who's going to be running Necropotents. If you're going to run Necropotents, this is a really good setup. If you run Necropotents and you're going to not use Inner Light, that's a good set, right? Was it the necklace? Oh, it's the ring. So this set's pretty good because it's going to give you Major Prophecy. You don't have to put the Inner Light on, and you'll get that crit percentage. Sorcerers have really low crit percentage out of their passives, so that's a really good setup with Necropotents. All right. Anything? Nothing? I don't know. Let's... Can we just please go? Yeah. Hopefully we do Thermoscales first. That's what I'm going after. See, this is another thing I hate about master weapons. You lose charge all the time. You guys see me just charge it, and of course I'm out of charge. Devs, I freaking get so mad about that. Oh, I get it. I get why. It still sucks. It's a very powerful weapon regardless, Mystic. Whatever. Fucking A. I hate recharging. Alright, let me recharge this. Every time I turn around, I have to recharge this thing. Nope. Wrong way, but... Oh, no, it is. Okay. I thought I had to... Yeah, I was about to say, no. We gotta go this way. This part sucks. I always wait for the healer. I am a healer on a lot of characters. I am not going in there without the healer. Are you in here, healer? Come in, please. I'm just going to keep drawing and rolling. Get in. Get through. Get through. Get out of the steam. Oh. Ultimate's not up, but let's see if I can get it real quick. Now, I think this build's okay. I mean, it definitely has really good numbers. It's good. It's a good, solid build. I like my asphyxiation build a lot better than this. It's more fun, for sure. Sometimes I like when I play DPS, I like high-end DPS. I'm not gonna say I don't, but I like having fun as well when I'm on my builds. I mean, once again, it's all about viability at the end of the day. And I get it. I mean, you want to push out a lot of damage and don't want to have fun and suck. Well, let's see how this goes. You know they're going to try the scroll. I don't care. I hope the tank knows what he's doing. It'll be all easy, but... Tank's gotta go for the chopper. Yep. The chopper, dude. I always go for the center one first. Keep those dots applied. Oh, no, no. I don't think so, bud. Grab that. Ooh. Get this thing away from me. Oh, I knew it. Supposed to be on that dude. Thank you. Wait for the spinning to stop. I get dizzy. Oh, this could be bad. Just stop. Yeah. Get somebody up. Keep healing. Run. Heal, run. Heal, run. Just get the, not the spinner, get the chopper. The spinner's easy to avoid. It's that chopper that's going to fuck you up every time. That thing will one-shot you. So, tanks out there, heads up. That's the one you want to be on. Soul. Uh-oh. This could be... Okay, good, 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 good. Lay down the hots, lay down the hots. Alright, we're back in action. I want that. Yeah, motherfucker. I died because of you. I hate you. Oh, shut the fuck up! Infused medium. Oh, shit. That is badass. That is killer. That is badass. I'll take that. Gladly. That is so badass. All right, guys. There it is. Pretty much said and done. If you have any questions or comments, post below. It's a good build. It's a good, solid build. You know, I like it. Solid rotation. Once again, keep in mind if you're going to... Bad thing about this staff, the Master Inferno staff. It's great. The arena weapons are good. Since One Tamriel, I don't use really arena weapons because most of the time I double stack, and depending on the scenario. But this scenario, you would need it. It would be to your benefit to get it either or. But I like the Master Staff on this versus the VMA because of the clinch for the rotation. But because that is going to go towards your benefit for that extra stat. You don't need that crit from the burning spell weave. So keep that in mind, guys. That this build, it would be good. You want to try to pick up the Nirnhelm though if you're a Magicka. Don't let anybody tell you sharpen. Don't let them do that, right, guys? Your Magicka, after major and minor breaches applied by other classes, you have way more than enough pen. All right, so there it is, said and done. I appreciate y'all for watching, and once again and always, have a nice day.